Hello YouTube, and here's another exclusive on the channel. This is Blue Black Fairies coming from Emma Partlow's article on TCG Infinity. If you would like, go ahead and check out the description for the link to that article, the link to the deck list, and as always, if you enjoy yourself, like and subscribe. There's a bit of an intro, so with that, we'll go ahead and go to the main content. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Blue Black Ninja Fae here in Modern, a deck coming to us from Emma Partlow's TCG Infinite article and created by Adria Farah. We have the traditional blue-black colors here looking to disrupt our opponents. However, in this build, you're going to be doing some tempo ninja fairies in Modern. Now, if you haven't read already, Emma's article will be linked either on screen or the description below, and I would highly recommend you going ahead and checking out some of her articles, but specifically this ninja one here for this video. We've played the list before, well, not necessarily this list, but we've played similar lists here. We've played where we're trying to put things down like Faeries and Spellstutter Sprite as a counter with Bitter Blossom, which is found here in the sideboard. But we've also tempted some things with ninjas before, Ninja of the Deep Hours, not necessarily on stream or within YouTube, but in Pauper when we played some of that. Fallen Shinobi has been a suggestion by some of the stream folks, and you guys on YouTube seem to like Blue Black with Fairies. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and give this a run here. As always, like and subscribe and let us know in the comments if this is something you would like to see a little bit more. Let's go into a couple details here though before we jump in, and as always I would encourage you to check the deck link below. So, Faeries. We have an interesting one here though, Changeling Outcast, and Emma goes into this a little bit. Can't be blocked. It's a Changeling, so it's a fairy, but it's also a ninja. It's perfectly on theme. And the idea here is that this will get through. Now, because it'll get through, we're able to use Ninja of the Deep Hours or the Ingenious Infiltrator. And the idea of both of these is when ninjas or when it does damage, it's going to be giving us card advantage. So here we go. Get a Changeling down, maybe protect it with a Spellstutter Sprite, or swing in and start our card drawing engine. Fallen Shinobi's been a great one in the cubes and draft, and so we'll see if we can take this as well into Modern and do some damage. Sideboard is your very traditional blue-black. We've got Thought Seizes, we have Force Negations, Counter Magic, Hand Disruption, and some other nuances of hate. That being said, we have Blue Black Ninja Fae here in Modern, and we're going to run a league right here. No cuts, no edits. So let's go. We'll see how we do. Now, this is our first outing with this type of build. The Faeries Discord would probably tell you this is of the tempo variety, and they are correct. We'll see how that tempo plays out in a companion meta, which is what we are currently experiencing in Modern and is very prevalent online. Whew. Let's do this. Let's find our match one opponent. Let's play some Magic here and see if we can't take this list to a positive win here in Modern. And maybe we will cut some of these. All right, match one here. Let's go ahead and play, accept the match. Everything looks to be in alignment, I believe. I think we're just about ready to go here. Bring that in just a touch. Let's play first. Let us play first. We got a roll. It was a 6-1. Maybe that'll bode well for us here. We have 2 lands. That's about all we need really in this deck, although it will be nice to get up to 3 and 4. 2 Remands, Ninja, and a Fairy. I think we'll go ahead and keep this. And as always, we're finding ourselves against a companion. No surprises there. Let's go ahead and lead with a Fairy Seer here and see what's on top. We kind of know what this could be. Could be Jund. It could be Boggles. It could be Burn. So we have absolutely no idea. Fairy Seer, number 2, and a Polluted Delta. I think I'm going to go ahead and bottom both of these. No real reasons to draw those, and we'll pass the turn back to our opponent. Also putting both to the bottom should give our opponent a sense of possibly safety. It appears our opponent's playing Luris Burn here, and this will be very interesting because I do need to shock in, and we'll have Remand or Ninja up. Now the question is, do I go ahead and just pump in with the Ninja and go for it, or do we hold this Remand up? It's tough to say. My opponent's going to obviously try to kill us relatively fast, and being a tempo deck, we're trying to be just as fast, but not take as much damage and take them a bit off of their game plan. We'll see if we can do that here. My opponent's thinking on their turn 1 play here. Maybe they're afraid of our fairy. Goblin Guide. All right, Goblin Guide's going to come in here, and we're going to see the top of our library. Maybe it'll be a land. It's a Ninja. All right, the jig is up. Our opponent knows what is up. We'll probably shock in here and get the Ninja into play. Start our draw engine. Although it does take 2 damage to do this, I think there is no other plan here than to begin racing them. Ninjutsu here, switching out our Fairy Seer with the Deep Hours, connecting with our opponent, and maybe drawing a land. Of course I want to use this ability. All right, Brazen Borrower here. Pass the turn. What'll be a little bit tough here is we have a 2/2 Goblin, and this 2/2 Goblin is going to be really brutal to us. Seal Fire from our opponent. They could kill our Ninja, and they decide that is the plan here. Hits for 2. We pick up a land. Not a bad thing. Lets us play a Fairy Seer down, possibly bouncing with a Brazen Borrower. The Goblin Guide. We'll see what this is. In Light Up the Stage, we have a Mountain and a Lava Dart for our opponent. Fatal Push is actually reasonably good here. Let's go ahead. Let's fetch first, so we get the full value out of our Fairy Seer here. We'll get just a basic island. Play this in. Scry 2. Check what's on top. All right, we don't need the Dark Slick Shores. Really don't need another Ninja either. And we'll pass. Land from the Light Up the Stage. If they'd like to get this Lava Dart going, they need to do it now. They go ahead and Lava Dart our Seer. That'll be okay for the time being. We could bounce with the Brazen Borrower if we would like to. We're probably just going to Fatal Push this, quite honestly. In for 2 more damage. We see a Spell Stutter Sprite on top. Go ahead and Fatal Push. We'll F6 to our turn here. Soul Scar Mage. And a Seal of Fire. All right. Well, we're going to play on our opponent's turn. So we'll just go ahead and pass. They know about the Spell Stutter Sprite. They don't know about the Brazen Borrower. They don't know about these Remands either. Looks like they're going to attempt to connect for 1. I may just try to play a Brazen Borrower into play if they do nothing here. I presume they're going to try to play this Luris. They play a Light Up the Stage. This might be worth a remand. They just replay it here. Let's go ahead and allow this to resolve. A Bobble and another Light Up the Stage. Now I'm starting to think I need my 4th land here. Okay. Let's go ahead and remand this. They can play that Bobble now, and they don't have to worry about the Spell Stutter Sprite here. Plays another Light Up the Stage. Abbot, Monastery Swiftspear, and a Bobble. My opponent has a lot of things that they can play here. Not to mention that their little seals of fire can definitely ruin our spectral sailors. And all of our creatures for that matter. Go ahead and put a sailor into play. It's a spirit pirate. It's a drawing card as well. Bobble trigger here. Alright, so let's go ahead and probably just hold back and pass the turn. We're not going to try to put anything into play here. I'm able to play two things here. A Spellstutter Sprite plus a Remand if I'd like. Attempts to Lava Dart our Sailor. I suppose this is fine. I'm not terribly concerned about losing a sailor here. We're doing reasonable, I think. We're 16 to 12, and I know that it looks like I'm not going to be able to play too much here. But maybe we'll just get lucky. Land. I'm going to play a Swift Spear out. Sacred Foundry tapped. Still a lot of damage coming through. Let's try to bounce one of these. The one without haste. We'll take our point of damage. We're at 8 because of the Seal of Fire, assuming the Seal of Fire comes at us. So I could just play a Ninja out. They get Luris down. This is so tricky here because of the Seal of Fire. We can't... Ironically, we can't get something to stick at end step very easily here. I'm probably going to just try to flash in the Brazen Borrower. But I'll go ahead and attempt to counter this. It actually will counter. Even if it was picked off, it would counter. Abbot. Top of the library. Finds another Abbot. Just play another Abbot. Seal of Fire this. Swing for 2. Don't find a bauble, please. Path. Okay. I'm going to really like my Collective Brutalities. Oh, I would just shock that in, path this, and let's move on, right? That's what we're doing. It's frustrating with the Seal of Fire over there. We'll go ahead and block. There's the Soul Scar Mage. Another land here. I can play a Ninja down. That's about all I can do. I can play a Flood Strand into play. Looks like this one we're gonna lose. We'll have to be a little more in game 2 and game 3. Steel Fire's here. 2, 4, 5, 6. They'll just need 1 spell. They don't have a Lava Dart here. Realistically, it's Seal of Fire this, Luris into play, Bobble out, but they don't know that yet. They don't know because I have 2 cards. There's the Bobble. I can't do a whole lot against that. Seal of Fire and swing. It's lethal. Another Abbot here. Another Swift Spear. And their last spell is another Abbot. Play that tapped. There we go. All right. Swings with the team and kills me. Let's go to game 2. Obviously, we need to gain some life here. So collective brutalities are in. Force of negation doesn't seem too bad. I can't imagine Thoughtseize is where I want to be. I don't want to be taking too much damage. Dismember is okay here. I'm a little worried that the ninjas aren't very good because they have the seal fire. So that 2 damage is going to stop these. I'm going to also take out a Spectral Sailor. It's just getting picked off. We probably could actually just go... Let's go down 2 Spectral Sailors. We'll keep 3 ninjas and then 4 infiltrators. We'll get rid of these. Collective brutality, force of negations in. And I think we're good to run it back. Thoughtseize would be worth bringing in if I think I'm going to snag really a creature. If I can snag a creature, perhaps. But we do have the fatal pushes here and we do have some dismembers. So we should be able to take care of our opponent. Not to mention we also are bringing in collective brutalities. Gain and perhaps kill some stuff. 2 lands once again. We have the Seer on play. We'll go ahead and keep this. We do have a collective brutality as well. We could be quite the underdog here. We'll see though. I probably want to pick up a 3rd land, but I'll also keep any... Oh, I kind of like both of these. Put on top, so I draw the land here. And then perhaps the mana leak as well, which wouldn't be bad. Collective brutality. Could really 3-mode it and be pretty happy with the result. Arid Mesa for our opponent. Please no seal fire. That's rude. Soulscar Mage. That would be a really good one to pick off here. We can either get the drawing engine going or we could pick this off. I'm thinking I want to pick it off. Do I want to go and remove something in hand? I could remove this Brazen Borrower. The Brazen Borrower could be picked off by a Lava Dart pretty easily. It's not blocking anything, and I'm likely to hit 2 things here. A spell plus removal seems good for a Brazen Borrower here. I'm going to be drawing a mana leak. Oh, I hit nothing. All right. Nice hand, opponent. Nice hand. All right, so we're going to see a Goblin Guide and a Swift Spear probably this next turn. Unfortunately, I don't have the Spell Stutter Sprite to counter, and I'll have the mana leak. They don't have anything after this 3-ish damage they're going to put on the battlefield, but they'll know about my mana leak more than likely here. I would be a little surprised to see the Seal of Fire here. I'd expect them just to get 2 threats into play. Oh, there are 2 Goblin Guides. Okay. Well, that's not very good. Goblin Guide was the draw. That's information for us. However, taking 4 here going to 16 is evening everything up pretty quickly for our opponent. And they'll know about this mana leak, so I almost just want to run the ninja in. Get the draw. I can counter one of these, but I can't counter both. But I could pick what I counter here. If I'm tapped out, they could also get Luris into play, and I have no way to remove that. And if I just play the ninja, I'm just going to lose to the Seal of Fire. Let's stay back on defense. See if I can't use Spell Stutter or this Mana Leak here. Spell Stuttering the Swift Spear seems really good. Land drop. Seems okay. They might have a removal spell, but it'll be countered regardless because of the Fairy Seer in play. Seal Fire. Bobble. I can also double block, but then they can Seal Fire one of them. So we'll probably do none of that. See what's on top of the first one. It's an Ingenious Infiltrator. I don't want to draw that. Let's go ahead and put a Water Grave into play tapped and see what the second one is. It's a land. Okay. If I double block here, they pick one off and I lose this, but I only take 2. I could also just single block, single block. Let's just single block. I'll just take 2 here. Take the top of the library. Collective Brutality could be good. Fatal Pushes as well. Speaking of. Let's plan to block again. I'm just not going to get this ninja in, am I? We can Fatal Push and Mana Leak a threat. The amount of value Lurrus offers them is pretty high, so I want to be sure I can Mana Leak that. Sunbaked Canyon here. Sacred Foundry, unknown card for our opponent. Top card's a Polluted Delta. Following card is a Island. Apparently, we're just going to grab a whole bunch of things here. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2. Seems dangerous, but I want to leave myself something on board here. Force Negation's actually kind of nice. I could attempt to ninja in with a Spell Stutter. I guess that might break the Seal of Fire. It's worth a shot, I suppose. Okay, they don't even let me get to the point of picking it up. Which sort of makes me want to put the ninja in. But then they just lure us and put this down. I think we've got to pass. Sunbaked Canyon cracked here. Opponent's got 3 lands plus the land in hand. Plays that land and shocks it in. Swift Spear. No counters for that. They still know about this Mana Leak. They're currently playing around the Mana Leak fairly well. That does not play around the Mana Leak. Suppose it's going to be one of the few times I get to do this. Next turn, Lurrus can be played. Then I would Mana Leak that, I guess. Fairy Seer off the top. We are running out of things to do here. Fairy Seer into play before the Polluted Delta. Scry 2. Don't really want either of these. Neither of these bring it back for us. I can play Ninja in here. They get to Lurrus and Seal Fire me. Doesn't feel very good. I'll go ahead and put it down. Being at 8 against a burn opponent doesn't feel very good. Paths. Paths are ninja as well. We get a land. This one might be pretty wrapped up here. Lurrus doing Lurrus things. Getting our burn opponent plenty of extra value here that I can't quite counter all the way. They're going to cast Lurrus here. Cast Lurrus here, and then they can go ahead and Seal Fire or Path to Exile. Sorry, Seal Fire or play a creature, not Path. Path's not a permanent. Seal of Fire. I do not have a blue card to pitch to Force of Negation, which would help get rid of this interaction, but 4 damage coming through. All my creatures are pretty much 1/1s. We have a Ninja of the Deep Hours as well. They'll be able to play Seal Fire, swinging for another 4 and get us. Burn Luris takes us down. Match number 1 while we're playing Blue-Black Ninja Phase in Modern. Whew. Whew. Let's keep it rolling. Let's try not to run into too much that can pick off all our little creatures. Perhaps a downfall here being that we have a lot of X1 little creatures that are easy to pick off, and that Seal of Fire is repetitive out of the graveyard with Luris. Is Leyline of the Void making sense to bring in against that matchup? It's really hard to say. If you were to bring that in, then you're bringing 4 cards or 3 or even 2 in for just the option of Luris being played. And as you saw in game number 1, it didn't even matter. They didn't need the Luris. Let's find a match number 2 here. See if we can't take this one to a victory. I think we've got a shot. We've got some shots here. We got to give them our all. Match 2 found. Let's play some Magic. It's getting the bugs out. It's the test run. It's the test run. All right. Let's play first. We get the roll again, which is good for us. Maybe it's a sign. MTG Maestro is our opponent with Ashiok. Fallen Shinobi is forever away, and I have a Spectral Sailor. Having no idea what my opponent's on other than their Obosh, which could be red-green. I think I need to put this one back and mulligan. This one looks a heck of a lot better. Keep this. We'll send back a land. And we'll get things started. We'll get some stuff started here. We'll put a Seer into play, set up our next turn. Oh. Alright, let's hope that our Obosh opponent does not have Bolt, or would like to put like an Arbor Elf into play. That's a good sign. Utopia Sprawl. This is even better. It's better because I can now put a Ninja into play. We're going to put the Ninja that is more costly with the black and the blue because of the red mana here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into play. Draw our other Ninja. Now we don't have any other lands here, but the Seer should help us, and this Ninja is likely to connect again. We can also dismember any ramp that they may have. We might see a Magus. We see a Utopia Sprawl. Please don't blow up my lands. Double red here on the Utopia Sprawls. Just be like a Blood Moon. Okay. I can deal with a Hex Drinker. We have the ability to remove a Hex Drinker at a point in this game. Land is really good to see here too. Let's play our Fairy Seer here. I feel like I want a little bit of double black here. Let's play our Fairy Seer. Take a look at the top 2 cards. Let's put this on the bottom and take the Remand. Let's go ahead and connect with our opponent. Now this could get protection. So I'm wondering if I need to just maybe put like a Changeling Outcast into play and Dismember. I'm afraid that this is going to get big. Maybe I wait to see if they're going to put a bigger threat into play. When they go to up this one, I can Dismember in response. And then we could also flash in the Spectral Sailor. So let's do that. We're ahead on board in a very weird way. Extra forest here. Red, green for our opponent. Stomps. Stomps my fairy here. I need to let that go. And they decide to play a Bone Crusher Giant. I don't really want to remand this. Remanding this seems like a bad idea. I think it's just Spectral Sailor into play here, and then probably just a Dismember. We might just Dismember this Hex Drinker here, especially if it attacks. It is not. Do I want to Dismember now? I feel like I do. I think this is the best chance I have to Dismember here. That way I can leave all my mana open for the Remand and the Ninjutsu. Deep Hours. Double Remand here. Question is, am I going to draw a card here? Let's go ahead and attack for 2 here. Oh, that's right. It's a ninja. It's not unblockable. That was a mistake. I apologize for my mistakes. We were supposed to... Oh, man, that was painful. We're not playing this right. Oh, boy. Mistakes were made. That's okay, though. They're going to play Obosh. We're going to counter Obosh. Remanded back to hand here. I presume it goes back to hand. It did. Stomping Ground tapped. Opponent can connect 4 to our face here. Not going to block with anything just this turn, because Obosh coming down again would be brutal. Could Ninja here. We could also wait one more turn. Let's attack for 1, pass the turn. Plan to remand Obosh again and block, this time with Spectral Sailor. We'll put them to 15. I can only do so much against this Obosh, though. Wondering if that Dismember was... But the Hex Drinker would become protection from instants. That could be detrimental. We're going to attempt Obosh again. I can't have Obosh land, so remanded back to hand. Ninjas. Hex Drinker. Uh-oh. Hex Drinker could win this game for them. Big 6/6 here. And playing Obosh, possibly. Do I have to take 4 here? I can't take 4. Fallen Shinobi. Go ahead and connect here. Play the Ninja. We've really punted this game away. We can trade with the Hex Drinker, which isn't a bad thing either. Connects. Draw a card. Ugh, another Ninja. Another Ninja. If we had the Infiltrator still in play, for some reason I was thinking this was unblockable. Unblockable or flying or something like that. The art makes it look like it's flying. Whoops. It happens. Alright, Obosh lands here. Gonna just triple pump this. 2 4/4s hitting me. I block 1, I take 8. I go to 3, and then I have 3 things to beat. Alright. We're just gonna concede. I'm able to block 1, maybe put something else here, but we're not getting through here. Draw a card. Ooh, Brazen Borrower. Okay. This one could be a Thoughtseize matchup. Thoughtseize, I don't know about our Bitter Blossom, but also chump blocking could be a good idea if we get ahead of it. Force and Negations don't feel very good. I don't perceive they're going to have too much here, but they could have chokes. They could have Blood Moons. Those are typical with what our opponents might be doing. So Force is out. Maybe the Bitter Blossom's in for the Forces. Let's see. What else do we want? I'd like to have a pair of Thoughtseizes here. Maybe 1 Spectral Sailor and 1 changeling and take 2 Thought Seizes with me. Grabbing a Planeswalker, a God of Destiny, a Glory Bringer, even a Blood Moon seems good. So we'll bring those in, and we'll go ahead and go to game number 2 here. Seeing if we can beat red-green Pawns alike in Modern. Alright, so I have a turn 1 Thoughtseize, I have a Changeling Outcast. I don't have any blue currently. 21 lands, 20 left in the deck. This is very difficult. I think I have to mulligan this. I'm drawing a lot of these ninjas. Alright, I'll keep this because I have the Thoughtseize on turn 1. I have a Fairy Seer to help as well. Find lands. We have the Remand. This hand's not much better than the other one, though. Not a whole lot better. We're going to take quite a bit of damage here, and my opponent more than likely has bolts. We'll take a look at what their hand is, though. Glorybringer, Arbor Elf, Seasoned Pyromancer, Lightning Bolt, 1 land. We'll take the Utopia Sprawl. I have a Fatal Push for that Arbor Elf, and my opponent is on 1 land, as am I. The Moto Shuffler obviously doing us both dirty here. Arbor Elf in play. Three cards known, 1 card unknown. Land, please. Come on, land. You got me. You got me with this land. Let's go. Nice. All right, we're going to shock in here. We're going to go ahead and use the Seer. The Seer is going to help us scry into some good stuff. It's awkward because I could almost need this land. And then I have a Brazen Borrower, which isn't too bad with what we see across from us. We'll put both on top for now. We'll Fatal Push their thing and pass the turn. We'll see if they hit their second land or not. That's the idea of the Fatal Push and leaving a relatively large threat on top. Did you find your second land, opponents? The Lightning Bolt does take care of some stuff here. They might just Lightning Bolt this off before I get to untap. And they do so. It does look like they've missed their land drop, though. We'll put a land into play and put the Changeling Outcast. Now, if my opponent does not play anything here, I will not crack. But if they do, we may remand. This would require me to fetch, though. All right, we're going to go ahead and remand the Utopia Sprawl because it puts them back another turn here. And we want to get like a ninja. The Brazen Borrower is nice, but not necessary here. Come on, ninja. Well, Seer might set me up with a ninja here. There we go. Put this on top. We'll put the ninja on top as well. We're putting the Bitter Blossom up there because that, with what our life totals are at, 17 to 12, could be enough. We'll also be using our ninja here, so it lets me put 2 threats on the board. We'll probably pick up the Fairy Seer, possibly. Utopia Sprawl for our opponent. At most, they're playing Seasoned Pyromancer or nailing both of our creatures here. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and attack. We'll ninjutsu here. Pick up the Seer. Now I could put this Bitter Blossom into play or set up the Seer. I have the Spell Sprite too. By the way, Changeling and Ninjutsu Infiltrator, pretty good stuff. Let's go ahead and leave Spell Stutter Sprite as an option. They don't have anything on 2, but if they have to play an Arbor Elf or another Utopia Sprawl here, we can grab it. If they try to bolt as well, we have the Spell Stutter Sprite. I have no reason to do anything here. We'll take our turn back. We'll Spell Stutter Sprite here, hoping they don't have another bolt. Second bolt. They do not. We draw a Mana Leak. We're just going to attack, leave Mana Leak as an option, and pass the turn. Nice. We're getting the draw engine going. And now we drew a land here. I'm going to go ahead and Fairy Seer and leave Mana Leak. We're getting it done. Woo, yeah. There we go. We're figuring this out. It did cost everybody. So let's go ahead and switch a Spectral Sailor out for a Changeling. Changeling should probably not come out. We saw kind of the nuance there. And the Infiltrator probably should never come out as well. Do we want to force a negation at any point in this game? Do I like force a negation better than a Bitter Blossom? It might be the case. The Thoughtseize did very well there too. We can grab a Utopia Sprawl and then Thoughtseize them. Is Bitter Blossom just too much? Let's do one. 1-in-1 split here. Let's get rid of... I kind of want to get rid of the Fallen Shinobi, but I probably shouldn't. Let's get rid of another Ninja and bring in another Force. They don't have that much that we can force, but being on the draw now, I kind of like the idea of maybe picking a Utopia Sprawl off. This hand seems reasonable here. We'll go ahead and keep no real counter magic other than the Spell Stutter Sprite, but we have a turn 1 Thoughtseize or Fairy Seer, depending on how I feel. We also have this Dismember that could take care of an Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl, so it's an easy Thoughtseize here. 4 cards remaining. My opponent did mulligan down a little bit here. And let's just do this Thoughtseize, see what's up. We have a Lightning Bolt, we have the Bone Crusher Giants. And we have Vivian. Vivian's a ways away here. Bone Crusher Giant's kind of difficult to deal with. It's probably just Bone Crusher Giant. It's just a harder thing to deal with here. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to be fetching here with the Flooded Strand. Oh, looks like my opponent found something as well off the top. Something on 3. Don't be a Magus. Seasoned Pyromancer. Alright, so we're going to ditch these 2 cards we know about. Alright, this could get interesting pretty fast. Let's go ahead and fetch. We'll fetch for basic. We'll put a Seer into play. The Fallen Shinobi. And a Fatal Push. I almost don't want either of these. Let's bottom both and pass a turn, planning to put Spectral Sailor possibly into play at end step. We'll take 4 damage if needed. We can also dismember Obosh if somehow they were to do land Simian Spirit Guide. Can't discount it. It's an option. We'll take our 4 lumps here. We do sort of need creatures in play. That's how we get going here. Utopia Sprawl, making more red. Triple red and green. A Molten Rain. Put the Spectral Sailor into play, but the Molten Rain does do 2 to us. Might have to just attack here. I need to leave the Dismember open, don't I? No, I don't. I don't. Let's go ahead and plan a Ninja here. Let's draw some cards. That's how we're going to win this game. That's how we're going to win this game. Got a Ninja. We can block for a turn if need be. Alright. Outcast. Seer. Spell Stutter. Opponent's got Obosh as an option here. We'll probably be jamming it. We're going to just chump block the Seasoned Pyromancer here. We're going to take 2. These are not odd. They're even. We can remove Obosh here. We take damage to do that if I want to. What's nice here is, yes, I'm going to take a bit of damage. We're going to play the Seer out. Take a look at the top cards. I don't want a Bitter Blossom. I wouldn't mind this infiltrator. This is going to chump block anyway here. Maybe I'm not attacking. You know what? Let's bottom both of these. We might not be attacking here, actually. I like the idea of a draw here, but I also like retaining my life total here for a little bit. Shoot. Well, then that kind of backfired. Hits for this. I can only block one of these. Well, that was a good top deck. Obosh is gone. Get out of here, Obosh. I could be blocking the 4, but I would take 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd block here. We'd draw. I could play a chain. I could play a Spell Stutter Sprite and a Fatal Push. I could block here and then top deck. Another Fatal Push. Maybe a little bit of preemptive, but I don't think we're getting there. All right, but we go 0-2, 1-2, so it's time to turn things around. Let's see if we can win out this league. Get that 3-2 here. Got some reps under our belt. I think we're getting a little bit smarter on what we're doing here. We made that big punt there in game match number 2, and let's not try to do that again. Let's go ahead and play first. We're getting all the chances to play first here. Conspiracy? I think not. I think not. Another one-lander here. I don't think I can do one-landers. Not against Aluris. Okay, we're going to keep this. We'll ditch one of our islands here. I shouldn't have kept this. There's just a mana leak here. I should also have canceled that and put the Fallen Shinobi back. Don't be burned, please. My opponent's down to 4 cards. That's always a good sign, I suppose. Luris. Tron. That'd be funny. Polluted Delta here. Alright, opponents have 4 cards drawing. Maybe this mana leak will get me there. What did Foothills? Don't be burned again. Oh, Temple Garden. Okay. Shoot, it's Boggles. Them Boggles. I don't have anything that counters this right now. I'm going to have to counter everything in the future. Everything. Oh no, targeted removal. Awkward. Windswept. I'm just gonna mana leak. I gotta stay alive somehow. Mana leak the Spider Umbra here. 2 cards remain. Fetching. Temple Garden. Shocks in. Gets an Ethereal Armor. That is the better one. 2/2. Okay. It's a Changeling. Changeling into Ninja into Fallen Shinobi. Please don't hook this up with a Daybreak Coronet. Luris might be joining us. Luris is not joining us. Hyena Umbra. It's a 4/4 now. Hits for 4. Planning not to block currently. Let's attack. I'm going to Ninjutsu. Obviously. Let's draw a land here. Spellstutter's not a bad card against this deck. It is all 1 and 2 drops. Alright, they're going to hit me for 4. Not much it can do here. I go to 9. We're going to just jam Luris. No, we have a Boggle. A little slippery one. Look at all this targeted removal. It's fantastic. Let's attempt to connect here. Maybe they'll block with the Boggle. They don't. I get in, I draw a card. Yes, please. A land. Excellent. Excellent. Let's put the Changeling down and pass turn. We have a blocker. Thank goodness. We have a blocker. We can remand something too. I can just straight counter this. Let's do it. Countered. Got him. This ability is what, 4? Some stuff's coming in here. We can block a 4/4 here. Just take a point of damage. Okay. We have to go the distance. We just have to. It's 10. It's going to be a little bit less. We're doing it. Ninjutsu. If I don't hit lands here, I can just play the Outcast back out here. My Dismember's not doing anything. Ninja's trigger. Oh, yeah. Trigger. Faeries here. That's a blocker. That's a land. I can play all kinds of things. Of course I want to use this ability. Oh my gosh, look at all the things I can do now. I think I put both of these out. Rancor gets me? No, I don't have to. I can just spell stutter sprite, right? Yeah, let's go. Let's go to 5. 5 damage in. Let's go to 3. We have the chance here. Fatal push and fatal push. Ooh, we have it. This could be our turning point here. Daybreak Coronet. I can remand this. I have to. If I don't, things go sideways fast. A land here. They can't really attack, can they? No. We had another land. Fairy and Changeling will make it so that Spell Stutter Sprite does its thing. I feel like I'm supposed to try to kill. Not kill, but attack. Let's attack with both and see if they're going to block both of them. They'll lose their Slippery Boggle here. Then we'll play Changeling and Fairy Seer and have Spell Stutter up. We're doing some blocking here. To be expected. Changeling. Fairy. And then we can get the Fairy and the Changeling in. Bottom, top. Land drop. Go. I have the Spell Stutter, so the Daybreak Coronet gets countered. Daybreak Unknown card. Counter. The Fallen Shinobi's going to be the nail in the coffin here. Does not attack. And we have the remand just in case. In for damage. Here we go. Ninjutsu. This one. Bam. In we come here. The Fallen Shinobi taking it down. Game 1 against Boggles. All right. We might have had a bunch of spot removal, but we got there. Spell Stutter Sprites were excellent. Force of Negation feels decent here. Feels decent. I think Bitter Blossom actually could be good. Now, if they get a Rancor, there's obvious big problems, but Bitter Blossom could be a thing. Might not be, though. I think we can trim a pair of Fatal Pushes here. It seems good, at least for a Force of Negation plus something else. Probably just one Bitter Blossom. I'm just so high on this Bitter Blossom. I want it to work really well. Remands are a bit but I think that tempo nature that we're going to be doing, I think we got to do this. Brazen Borrowers can bounce permanents, right? So that gets interesting. Stops Daybreak Coronets. I feel like I can just drop a Dismember and do another Bitter Blossom and give it a shot here. We'll leave Dismember and Fatal Push just in case we get the Spirit Dancer in, but otherwise, Spell Sprites is what we want. Spectrals, Fairies. Looks good. Let's keep this. We have the Fatal Push in case they go for us. We've got the Lurrus there in the waiting. We'll see which Boggle we're going to be battling here. Which Boggle are we going to be battling? The Glade Cover Scout. My opponent kept a lot more cards this time. That being said, Force Negation's a great pickup here. Bonus Fairy Seer and an Island. I want neither. Let's bottom both. Let's bottom both. I could very well just Force Negation whatever. I kind of don't mind this, even exiling the Remand. The Mana Leak's just so much stronger here. Or we got, oh, we have the Rancor. Ooh, that one was really good. My opponent's so sneaky. So sneaky. Let's go ahead and connect for one here. We're going to leave Mana Leak open this turn. Daybreak Coronet would be really bad for us. Obviously, they'll get to hit me for 3 here. But I gotta take my chances. Look at that card. You can't have that card in our lives. Not too worried about black mana right now. Mana Leak. Mana Leak. What else? 3 damage in, 3 damage in. 16, 14. 2 cards remain. Oh, that's a hot one. Fairy Seer. Scry 2. Bottom and top. Shock this in. Swing for 1. Now, it's a little awkward if they're like Ethereal Armor, then Daybreak Coronet here. If that is something they have. But the Brazen Borrower can bounce something that's actually pumping this when they attack. And we can then chump with the Fairy Seer here. So we're going to try to do that. This 4-2 here, we can make it worse for them here. We're going to block with the Fairy. We're going to attempt to Petty Theft the Hyena Umbra here. Little 3-1 Rancor here is going to get killed, hopefully. And then we have the Fatal Push over here. We have the Spell Stutter Sprite coming. Woo! They better put this down now. Oh, Spirit Dancer. Well, that's an easy one to get rid of. Goodbye! Let's attack for 1. The race is on. Rancor and something else in hand. Now, I don't get to kill Lurrus. But I could stop a Rancor here. Bummer. They might put Scout into play. I'm just going to counter Scout. Countered. Alright, so we have a Lurrus here. It's a 3-2. It's a slight problem because it gains them life. I'm going to have to race it. I say we're going to have to race it. I don't know how we're going to race it here because we have the Brazen Borrower, but my opponent's just going to put a Rancor plus something else on it. I'm not going to be able to interact with any of this. Exactly. Now they can just land this Daybreak Coronet, and now this is huge. They do take some damage to do all this. It's a 9-6 here. They're going to gain 9. Not a lot I can do there. We can come back for 5. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can stop 4 of this. I don't think we got enough. We weren't tempo enough here. Alright, opponent, you got it. You just attack me with Lurrus again. So we can't let Lurrus land. That is the story of that one there. So probably an extra Dismember here, maybe. Instead of... Maybe instead of... Oh, I'm on the play, though. Spectral Sailor out? Dismember in? I don't... That just doesn't feel right. Let's take a Bitter Blossom out and Dismember back in. I don't want fatal pushes because it's not guaranteed that I'm going to get the Luris there. And I'm really torn by playing that ley line. Playing that ley line into the Luris just feels awkward. Okay. We can keep this hand. We're going to race our opponents. Going to race them with some ninjas. Let's just hope they don't keep like 7. They go to 6. All right. Not wishing ill on my opponent. However, it is really nice when they have to struggle just a little bit, especially since they've got Luris over there. Windswept Teeth cracked for our opponent. Temple Garden, fetch shock. Get something in here. It is the Scout. All right. I think we might leave Remand up. I don't think I do, though. I think I'm going to Ninja here and get in for damage and start drawing cards. I think our sheer card advantage here is going to have to be the way we win this one. Of course I want to draw. So now I can play like Shockin', Fairy Seer, and Remand or something like that. They're going to attack me. Hopefully they don't get any Vigilance here. Rancor plus the Hyena Umbra. Coming in for 4. Trying to race our opponent. The less shocking I have to do, the better. Let's get a swamp here. Let's go ahead and attack for 2. See what we draw. And I know I'm drawing a random card because I haven't played the Seer. Bottom, we'll go ahead and top this. We'll play Changeling, we'll play Changeling. Maybe I should have done the Seer there first, thinking a Force of Negation was an option. I was trying to figure out a way to get all of this into play. Another Rancor here. We have a 6-2. It's a 10-6. It's a 10-6 trample first strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a Force Negation here. I don't have anything that's going to beat this, do I? Let's attack with the Seer. Put the Ninja in. I guess the Seer would have blocked some damage. That might have been smarter. We're trying to get a Brazen Borrower here. Get another Ninja. This might be it. And they just put too many things into play for us to deal with. And we didn't have like a Spell Stutter Sprite. Tried to race him. Didn't pay off. Get the Force of Negation something, but they come in for 10. I can only block 2. I could block 3, but that's about it. Rancor, trampling over. If I had double Brazen, maybe we'd be able to block that out. Boggles takes us down. Another Luris deck for us to beat. We're 0-2, 1-2, 1-2. We've got to win. It's got to be coming here. We're getting our feet wet with the deck. We've got some practice now. Let's do it. Let's go. 2 matches remaining in this league. Trying to get blue-black fairies, ninja fairies, to win here. This one looks like it's got some finesse needed. We're very obviously learning that as we play. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, but I think the practice obviously needs to be there. All right. Match number 4 here. Finding our opponent. See what we can do. Let's see if we get to play again. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. We're always on the play. All right, we've got another companion here. We've got Yorion whenever they want to show it to us. We'll keep this. We have a Changeling Outcast into the Ninja, and we have removal and bounce stuff. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. All right, 1-1 down. A little Yorion there. An 80 card deck as well. We're going to be able to draw many of our cards before they get to do too much here. Astrolabe is our first thing from our opponent. Draws a card. So we're going to definitely get this ninja in at least once. A seer would be nice to play in, but I'm going to have to just go with the ninja. Ninja, draw our card. We already put our land into play. We can have 6 through our turn. Of course I want to use this. And a swamp. It's good to hit a few land drops here. We'll want those. We learned that in match 1 that we want those. Play our Drowned Catacombs here. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to attack for 2 here. I could imagine a removal spell, but if no removal spell, we're looking good. Would you like this ninja to attack? Got there. Yes. Oof, so many lands. Start with the seer here. We'll also probably put this changeling into play. There we go. Put on top. Put on top. Put the changeling into play now as well, and we'll pass the turn. We're putting both on top because I have a fairy and a changeling, and that means I can counter something on 3 in this upcoming turn. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Luris, or not Luris, we'll get Euro here. No actions for our opponent. Put the island down. We'll go ahead and swing for 4 damage here. Is tempo just needing to be the control against control? It might be the case. We've played against several aggro decks. We'll draw for the turn. It's our Fairy Seer. We'll play our Fairy Seer into play. Scry 2. We'll bottom both of these. I don't need either of these. We're looking for something else. Something else to quicken our game plan here. Draw 2 cards is my opponent's option here. We have 3 fairies. We'll have a 4th fairy with the Spellstutter Sprite. I'm going to actually allow that to resolve. We have a good clock here of 5 damage per turn as well. They shock it. Here comes the Cryptic. I'm going to do nothing at end step. We're going to just go to combat. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just have to go to combat here. That's what I need to do. We get to combat. Okay. I connect with damage here. What does our opponent have? They have done nothing so far but play a few lands and draw them from a few cards. We're already in the blocker step here. Assassin's Trophy. No. Not allowed. Countered. The draw engine's too important here, in my opinion. We have a Brazen Borrow that can be flashed in at end step after we do this damage. Plus, we'll take this draw. A ninja. A ninja. Alright, we're representing lethal. Fatal Push. It's fine. That's fine. Representing lethal here. The Fallen Shinobi. The Fallen. Beginning combat. We have a Cryptic. Trying to think what I want to do here. If there's anything I want to do. I don't think there is. I'm going to play the Fallen Shinobi. see what my opponent wants to do. Cling to Dust. They get rid of a Changeling. We have a 5/4, so we have still enough damage here to win the game out of nowhere. And I say out of nowhere. Win the game on a swing. Abundant Growth here. Intriguing. Astrolabe. Opponent appears to be digging for answers here. They do have enough to Cryptic currently. They Abundant Growth. Appears they're still drawing for cards here. A lot of ETB stuff for like Yorion. We get there. We get there. We got a chance here. All right. Force Negations and Thought Seizes are coming in this one, and a Bitter Blossom. No other options here. Fatal Pushes out, and probably... maybe just not so many Thought Seizes. Gosh, it's got to be Thought Seizes in. I want the Dismembers so that I can take care of a Yorion if they play that. I mean, I guess I have the Spellsetter sprites to counter it. And a Mana Leak. We could just go full on plan to counter everything. And do this. This seems okay. One less Thoughtseize, no removal. Going the full aggro as best as we can. I think this is reasonable against a control opponent. Bitter Blossom is very difficult for a control player to mess with. It's not one-for-one spot removal. We did see a Fatal Push from our opponent. So I like that. I like the Thought Seizes to disrupt things like Cryptic Commands or other things before, during, or after. We got double Bitter Blossom. I'm just going to go for it. There's zero things I want to do more than Bitter Blossom twice here. Let's go. Tap land, Watery Grave. We're going to be doing the same thing here. Actually, no. We're getting this Changeling down. Getting the little one down. Getting the little one down. Now, they have Assassin's Trophies, but that'll just ramp us. It'll be great. Prismatic Vista. Wonder if I can bait out a Fatal Push here by doing Changeling Outcast attack here. I mean, I technically could get an Infiltrator down too. Fatal Push does kill Infiltrators. Converted mana cost is 4. Kind of like that Force Negation. Fetching, and let's go ahead and attack with the Changeling Outcast. I presume my opponent may try to remove this. This would be really good for them to remove. Then Bitter Blossom will be slammed. Looks like we don't. We'll play Bitter Blossom down, see if they have anything that they want to counter this with. Mana Leaks. Force of Negation cannot be pitched. It is not our turn, or it is our turn. Let's go ahead and attack. I kind of want a ninjutsu so bad here. I know I have this other Bitter Blossom, but I can at least get this down. And then they can't Fatal Push here. Maybe they'll Assassin's Trophy and then I'll get to shock it and get the Bitter Blossom. We connect. That's always a good thing. Another one. We'll go ahead and play our Changeling Outcasts out. We can Force a Negation pitching an Infiltrator. Do we have a counter for this? It appears we have many Mana Leaks for our opponent. On to their turn. If I could find one more land, I can Bitter Blossom and put a remand to protect it. I don't mind a couple Force of Negations either. We'll go ahead and attempt to attack for 2 here. Ice Fang could remand this. 3 other snow. I kind of want to remand this. Get a draw off remand, and I get a draw off the Chinook, or this one. Ooh, Spell Stutter. Can counter things on 1. Land drop here. Come on. Oh, yeah. We found our land drop. We're going in. Bitter Blossom going down. And we have double Force of Negation protection. Let's go. Come on. Yeah. Oh, this makes Spell Stutter Sprite so much better now. We're in a great position. This is what we're playing for. This is what the league's about. Drown. Absolutely not. Who needs a ninja? We're sacrificing ninjas. We're going for fairies now. Veil. Veil. Absolutely not. Denied. We don't really have much after this, but I'm feeling good because we're going to get to draw. Draw for the turn. It's not a bad one. Attack for 2 here and draw another card. We did it. We got a W. We got a W. We're going to draw a card here. It's going to be a remand. We could play the Spell Stutter Sprite and the remand, following up with a Thought Seize, then a Changeling Outcast, and Changeling and all that good stuff. We got one. 1 and 3. We're playing the league for those kinds of matches. Blue-black Ninja Fae doing what it's supposed to. And maybe we just need to avoid Lurrus decks, because that's what we've been fighting. We've been fighting many a champion. Obosh, Lurrus, Yorion. That's 4 for 4. Are we going to go for 5 for 5 for a companion? Let's find out. Let's do it. 5th match. Right here. One observation as we're waiting for our next opponent. Because it's tempo, if you get ahead, you can keep that. And there's clearly a lot of card draws, so getting ahead just by 1 or 2 cards and then drawing enough can put you miles ahead. Miles ahead. However, you have to get those 1 or 2 creatures, and with a lot of Lurruses being killed, Fatal Pushes, Seal Fire, Lightning Bolts, Path to Exiles, all of those cards are very prominent currently. Maybe it's worth going up an extra Force of Negation, but maybe it's not. Match 5 here. We'll have our thoughts here after this match. Playing as blue-black ninjas and fairies in Modern, going up as the underdog against the companions. They're like a little select group. We got to beat the companions. Oh, is this opponent just afraid of us? They are. They are afraid. Go back to the queue, my friend. Looking for our opponent. Searching again. Here we go. Match number 5 requeued here. Let's see if this opponent decides. And it looks like we've got him. All right, match 5. Do we get to play? We do. Well, let's play first. Interesting this is. Interesting this is. We got the play on all 5 matches. Interesting. Our opponent is Dish. What is this? Ink Eyes. Oh, it's Ink Eyes. Oh gosh. Ink Eyes. The Ninja. Seems like an appropriate opponent for our final match. Raid boss here at the end. It's a Luris deck. We're 5 for 5 on companions. We have a reasonable hand here too. Let's go for it. Now, can we put everything we've learned together here? Hopefully. We'll lead with Faeries here. Bottom, top. Gonna grab a ninja. Gonna get them ninjas in. Alright, what kind of Luris opponent is this going to be? Are we looking at Burn, Jund, Boggles? Affinity is an option too. Oh boy. We can do this. Now, they tend to play Seal of Fire as we've kind of noticed. So I think I want to get this ninja down, but the Ingenious Infiltrator one. Let's go ahead and attack for 1 here. Get this Infiltrator down and let's race our opponent. We will draw an extra card here, which is good for us. And we have a 2/3 body in play. Fatal Push is not bad either. All right. Let's see where this goes. Don't bolt my ninja, please. Bonus Swift Spear, followed by a... Oh, stab to the heart. Lightning bolts my ninja here. Coming across for 4 damage. We're going to 14. 18, 14. 4 cards to 7. Well, I get to play a lot of things here if I'd like to. Get to play a lot of things if I'd like to. Let's put a Fairy Seer into play. I should probably just Fatal Push and then leave Remand open, but the Fairy Seer does set some things up for us next turn. We'll chance that Luris might come into play here. Fairy Seer setting up our next 2 draws. Bottom, we'll top the Spell Stutter Sprite here. And we'll move to their turn. We have Remand and Fatal Push up. I guess I can hold on the Fatal Push if I'd like to. Alright, land drop Luris, let's go. Come on. You know you want to. You know you got to. Attacks for a pair of damage. I'll probably let this through. It might be light up the stage, though. No blocks. That's the other thing, is if we're always blocking, we can't ever get our ninjas working. So we gotta be able to have a creature stick. Lightning bolts me. I think that's enough to go ahead and Fatal Push now. Enough to Fatal Push. Light up the stage. Skewers. That would have been a good Remand target. That would have been a good Remand target. We'll put Changeling Outcast into play. And I have to block, it looks like. Looks like I'm going to have to block. Most definitely block. I'm planning to counter something with Spell Stutter Sprite, possibly. Can counter something on 2 currently. It's 2. Spell Stutter Sprite coming down. Countered. Nice. Okay. A Force of Negation. Boy, oh boy. How... Oh, I want to play the... Oh. All of this good stuff. All right, we're going in. We're going to pick up Spell Stutter Sprite. We're going to draw some cards here. Whew, I needed a basic. All right, let's draw a pair of cards here. Oh, that's a bad card. Oh, it's not a good card either. We have a Force of Negation. Force of negation. I could dismember the Swift Spear. Just won't do a whole lot. In for one, our opponent goes. Maybe they'll have a 2-mana spell here. 2 mana, 2 mana. Alright, I'll take it. Let's get rid of the Fallen Shinobi. Countered. I'm going to 3. Don't have another, don't have another, don't have another. It's red. Oh, it's a Rift Bolt suspended. Oh my gosh. Oh, we get a Force of negation. Oh, do I attack? I attack. We're going deep here. We're drawing 2. If I just sit back, we lose this game. Oh, basic island. It's beautiful. Oh, ninjas. I have Remand, I have Spell Stutter, right, and I have Force of Negation. We're getting there. We're doing things. Rift Bolt. I'm gonna have to block with Spell Stutter Sprite, it looks like. I could go to 1 here. Maybe I go to 1. I'm going to 1 anyway. Let's go to 1. I'm going to 1. Let's just hope they don't have 2 spells here. Can remand the Luris. I can Spell Stutter Sprite a play here. We need them to not have 2 spells. If they don't have 2 spells here, I can then I can Spell Stutter Sprite, ninja it back. Can also leave just Spell Stutter and remand open. 3 isn't much different than 1. Looks like they're going to try to jam Luris here. They thought about it. Remanded. Draws me a card. Another remand. Playing the tempo game. We're going in. We're not playing anything. I have Sprite and Remand here. Draw some cards. Oh, Polluted Delta. I can't do anything. Dark Slick Shores. Tap. Go ahead. Go ahead, opponent. Oh, land. Okay. They don't even try to play Luris here. I'm going to remand the Boros Charm. I'd like to attempt to remand the Boros Charm. Luris and an unknown card here. Boros Charm back to hand. Oops. Spell Stutter to counter this. We have a Changeling. I need like a Force of Negation here. I need a... Oh, I should have played the Fairy Seer. We draw land and... Oh, boy. I can represent a counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can ninja in next turn. We're good to represent. Represent. Luris, 2 unknowns. Sunbaked. No, what is this? If I would have Fairy Seared, I could have put both of those on bottom, and I would have drawn a Dark Slick and a Brazen Borrower. Wouldn't have got me there. Oh, there's Remand. Okay. Force negation, collective brutalities are coming in here. Fallen Shinobi just doesn't seem like it gets there. It's too far up. Let's go down 2 ninjas and try this. Try to go down some of the ninjas, getting the fairies on play to counter and getting enough damage in. We got to see what Infiltrator really was about there. Come on, we can do this. We're playing first. We can keep this hand. All right. I'm very much down for this hand. We'll fetch for a basic here, play the Fairy Seer, get to see the top 2 cards of our library. 2 cards I don't really want, although I could take this Swamp. You know what, let's put the Swamp on top. I can use the Collective Brutality in a 2 mode or even 3 mode fashion, and I'll have the Remand and the Force. Plus I can get rid of the Swift Spear and not take damage either. Looks all good to me. Win, win, win all around. Let's 2 mode it. You know what? Let's 3 mode it. 3 mode it. 1, 2, 3, and we'll ditch a Remand here. And the Polluted Delta. We'll have the Force of Negation next. We have a Searing Blood, a Lightning Bolt, and a Skewer. Let's get rid of the Searing Blood. We need our creatures badly. Alright, so they can Swift Spear plus Lightning Bolt or something here if they'd like. Kind of out of cards here, but we're at a healthy 20. Wonder if 3 mode's a little aggressive. I mean, I got all value out of it. I ditched what? A Remand and a land? Maybe the Remand would have been okay for Luris in the future here. Secret Foundry. That was their top deck. Swift Spear being played here. And the Bolts. Bolts my creature. Force doesn't get to block that. Maybe that's a reason to keep the Remand in hand to the Force, but then I'm down to only 2 lands. It seems a little bit dangerous. Although, of course, we were going to top deck a land. Why not? Okay. Lava Spikes me. You know about this Lightning Bolt. It's going to be just a Skewer, probably. I'll go ahead and counter one of these. We have a Sunbaked and a Fiery Islet in hand. They should play one of these into play. Sunbaked into play. Alright. Well, an end step I can play a Spectral Sailor down. Make it look like I have a counter of some sorts for Luris. They don't really have too much in the yard other than a Swift Spear to bring back here. However, that may be just too much for me to overcome. Plus the Luris just gaining life will be difficult. Luris is played. Plays their Fiery Islet. Plays a Swift Spear. We'll play our Spectral Sailor and pass the turn. I do need this creature to remain in play. We'll be taking 2 damage going to 10. It's a ninja. We'll ninja it in, because that's what we're doing. I can re-put the Spectral Sailor into play. Looking for what, a Dismember, maybe? A Fatal Push? Remand's not looking too hot here. Remanding away a card will just get them to recast it and they get their Swift Spear triggers here. Not looking too good. I might have to be Spectral Sailor block this turn. We are at 11 and 10. Something to note. Hits for 5. Yep. We can remand this. Maybe I can force a negation next. I can dismember. But remanding here gets them another prowess trigger here. 3, 6, 9 plus the 4. 13. We are dead. taking blue-black fairies to a 1 and 4 this evening, playing only against companions. And the companion we beat was Yorion, and the companion we punted on most definitely was Obosh. But there you have it, blue-black fairies in Modern. What is going on with this list? Where can we potentially improve, in our opinion? And then what do I think about perhaps the power level? So, Emma has a budget version and a non-budget version. We've ran the non-budget. It's mainly because of the lands and a few other nuance cards here. What I think is very interesting here is if you want to be super competitive, you're probably going to need the Force of Negations. You're going to probably need the Thought Seizes and the Fatal Pushes. You probably will be good with that. There may be a few other things that matter in blue-black, and that would be something you'd have to look into. One thing that I've noticed is although we drew lots of ninjas, and obviously we want those ninjas to be played to draw, I found myself drawing almost a little too much of the ninjas. The Spectral Sailor also to me isn't really fitting with the theme here, although I understand that we're placing something into play with the intention to ninja or infiltrator on turn 2. That can be played off of a seer though, or I could be just simply thought seizing my opponent. We are in the colors of blue-black, so you're a bit more of that control kind of world. Overall though, I think the list is a lot of fun, and when it starts coming together, you can just see the snowball effect that you can have. Now the meta is heavy with Lurrus, and we actually ended up playing against 2 Lurrus Burns, I believe. And we played Yorion, Obosh, and another Lurrus. The other Lurrus was, it was something else, right? I'm not getting that confused, am I? Because of that, there may be a little bit of a problem with the list. And it's not that the list is bad. The problem I could see here is that it's creature heavy. We need a creature to stick, we switch the creature out, and then we begin our advantage. If you're not able to stick that creature, you're just not going to continue, and your game plan is just going to kind of fizzle. So there is that nuance. Because we're also in blue-black, I know we have the Leyline of the Voids in the sideboard, but it might be worth a drown or two as a counter or removal. And that makes it a little bit better than perhaps a Dismember, although if you're running into indestructible creatures, you have that. All in all though, for fun factor, Ninja Phase in Modern, give it a thumbs up. And overall, I think you could definitely, with the right practice, fine-tuning, and attacking of your meta, which we like to do on the channel, if you could do that, you probably can take this one quite the distance. I am personally interested in maybe getting Bitter Blossom main, but that may not be the necessary thing. Although you could swap them out for Spectral Sailors. You will take damage, which would be bad against all the burn that we saw tonight. However, it does give you creatures and staying power on the board. Anyway, blue-black fairies here in Modern. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Consider checking out Emma's article on the shenanigans of the ninjas here. And we will see you in the next one. Take care all and have a good evening.